State leaders, they're working with educators to tackle a growing problem in schools here throughout the state of Louisiana. We're talking about absenteeism. This morning, we are joined now by Louisiana Supreme Court Chief Justice John Weimer, also Justice Piper Griffin, along with Judge Ranford J. Darensburg, to talk about some Darensburg, to talk about some strategies to prevent truancy, along with other students, resources for them returning to school. Good morning to y'all.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having us.
It's an honor to have y'all here, not only for what you do on the day-to-day, but also what you do when you're not on the bench. And that's what this is about, working to make sure not only students go to school, but we were talking and you see that there is a direct link between absenteeism and, unfortunately, potentially down the line, poor decisions.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there are those that suggest truancy is a pipeline to prison. I don't necessarily buy that, but we do know that those that find themselves incarcerated seem to have not gone to school. Mm-hmm. And this is designed to make society a better place. It's designed to ensure that children get an education, which can be transformative in so many different ways, and to work collaboratively with people throughout the communities, the district attorneys, the sheriffs, the people in the school systems, working together to try to get a handle on this and make it better.
And that's what you all had this week, a collaborative effort. A lot of people coming out to talk about this. Talk to us about the conversation, some of the questions raised, and potential solutions on the table.
The convening was with the Louisiana Department of Education, the Louisiana Children's Cabinet, and all those people, those integral parts involved in education. Mm-hmm. And as the chief said, some of the other social and those people who are involved in the process on our side. And what they talked about was, how do we avoid it? What can we do to keep kids from repeating truancy, repeating absenteeism? Judge Darensburg did a phenomenal presentation about what we're doing in Orleans Parish, and he might want to talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, what are we seeing in Orleans, Judge?
Well, what we've noticed over the last few years is that in New Orleans, the arrests that occur with the juveniles are occurring between the ones that occur between 8:30 and 3 p.m. were increasing by 5% since 2023. So we realize this is an important issue in the court. What we know is that most kids that come before the juvenile court are already accused of committing some violation of the law. But when we address truancy, the court then has the opportunity with the process that the Children's Code provides for dealing with youth before they ever commit an offense. In New Orleans, we recognize our responsibility to public safety, and we see it as a public safety issue when youth aren't in school. When youth are in structured environments, they're less likely to get in trouble, and they're more likely to be more successful.
How is it enforced now, truancy? I remember when I was in high school, we'd go somewhere downtown on Canal Street in our uniforms, the late 90s, early 2000s, and you wouldn't be served at businesses. Chances are there was what was called the truancy police that would take you into custody. There are questions about arresting someone for not going to school, but I'm just curious as to how is it enforced today?
But what the law requires is that after 5 unexcused tardies or 5 unexcused absences, the school is required then to report that to the juvenile court or the family court in the parish that the school exists, so that we are at the court looking for the schools. And we are really grateful for a great partnership with Dr. Fulmore, who really believes in this issue as well. And we have partnered with the Orleans Parish school system to really let parents and teachers know. We will be sending out a letter jointly letting parents and teachers know that when students are absent from school, this will be reported to the court. So that is how we're going to, that is the partnership we've created through these conversations really with other districts and other parishes to create a better system of enforcing truancy.
Which better underscores your point, Chief Justice.
Sure, and this is a community problem that's going to have to be solved on a community-wide basis. And parents have to be invested. We know that the lack of attendance at school creates other societal problems. And parents have to take responsibility for ensuring that their children are in school. We can't just turn it over to the police, the judges. When we end up seeing people as judges, that's a failure in society, that's a failure in the system. We don't want to see people. I always say the world would be a better place if we as judges had less to do. Unfortunately, that's not the case, and we felt the need to get involved, but our hope, our goal, our dream is that we never see these children.
Got a little less
And
than
I
30
will
seconds.
tell you, FINS, Louisiana houses, our Louisiana Supreme Court houses FINS, families in need of services. So as we start, as the juvenile court starts to see problem, they refer people to FINS. And FINS is that stopgap, that attempt at ending a problem that is foreseen that could end up to be a worse problem for our juvenile.
Right, and Louisiana is one of the only Supreme Courts that are involved in administering what is called, as Justice Griffin said, the FINS program, Families in Need of Services. It links families that are having issues with the services that are provided. And the FINS officers are spread throughout the state of Louisiana, and their goal is to keep children in school, to prevent runaways, to prevent situations related to being ungovernable. We also do the CASA program, the Drug and Treatment Court programs, and the Louisiana Protective Order Registry. We're one of the only Supreme Courts in the United States that have the obligation to administer all of these programs, and we do so willingly, but it adds to our responsibilities, if you will.
All right, well, some definite responsibilities we all have here, as it does take a village to correct the challenges that we do face here as a community. We do thank y'all for taking time out of your busy schedules, not only to do that, but to come in and share with us here on the morning show.
Thank you for having us.
It's so
Yes.
important that the community realize that efforts are being made and they provide assistance in that respect.
Very much so, Judge.